Are Polene handbags worth it? Let's have a look. Hello everyone, welcome back to another mommy review where I review all things for the love of. Today I am checking out Polene and seeing are their handbags worth it? Now before I get started, if you like the content on this channel, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for considering, and on with the video. So when I think of Polene, I think of like it's a very elegant, very sophisticated handbag with like really high quality, or so I have associated with, and many people have been raving about the handbags. And what I have to say is it too good to be true? I mean, I've been intrigued by the Polene bags for a while now, and I just fell down a really deep rabbit hole into Polene and trying to figure out like, are they really as beautiful and unique design, and like is the pricing really that reasonable? And that's what this video is about. Since like Polene has become one of like I think an all-time favorite luxury store for like mid-range luxury, if you're looking for something that is more minimalistic in design, I think it's a perfect fit. So I want to do a reality check for this hype brand Polene. Is it worth it? Before I get started, I do want to talk about like the Polene brand itself. It is a brand that is based in Paris. The brand is known for like these timeless designs, luxury, elegance, just amazing craftsmanship. This brand was founded in 2016 by two brothers and sister, and it's inspired by a lot of iconic French and Italian designers, and I find that their designs are very unique and innovative. So let's go into, are Polene handbags worth it? Starting off with aesthetics. So since Polene is relatively new brand, I would say, their product range is a little bit more limited, but I must say their handbags do look very unique. They have a curated range of styles, best known for their numeral and then they also have like nano and different sizings for it. I think all their designs, as you can see, is like very timeless. I think it's very gorgeous. I love the minimalistic style, no logo heavy designs, as you can see, very French chic. But in terms of designs, I think that their handbags are really cute. The shaping, the stitching, the edging, the hardware for each of the Polene handbags, I think have been considered into much detail. Overall, I find it's like, it looks very simple exteriorly, but there's a lot of thought put into it. However, I would prefer the handbags to be a little bit larger. I find some of the handbags a bit small. And a lot of the handbags you'll see have like a lot of pleats and folds, such as their signature numeral And I think this really limits the capacity of the handbag, although artistically it looks really beautiful, but it's just not as practical on the long run, I must say. So here is another example. This is their numeral wheat. So they name their handbags by numbers. As you can see, like I just don't see them as being as practical, but aesthetically, like artistically, they are just amazing. The opening can be a little bit on the narrow side for some of their handbags, which is a little bit unfortunate. It's just a little bit difficult to access the handbag because the opening is a bit narrow. And a lot of the handbags I find, they don't have back pockets associated with it, so it's not like as easy to access to put things that you use very frequently, which is a little bit unfortunate. So next I want to talk about craftsmanship and materials. All of the Polene products are handmade by top artisan in Spain. They're made from high quality materials and a very luxurious finish. Most of the goods are made from calfskin leather with like a grain finish to ensure that it's a little bit more durable, which I love, because like sometimes with some of the smooth finishes for leather, it scratches easily and it looks worn very quickly. So here I just want to show you some of their top handbags. I love how some of them, they do have a very elegant and beautiful design that I think can withstand the test of time very well. Polene also work with Spanish and Italian tanneries that are part of the International Leather Working Group to ensure that there are top working conditions for the staff and sustainability for the production of the leather. You can see a lot of folds are also built in for their handbags. Next, I want to talk about the weight of the handbag. This is not something a lot of people talk about, but I find that it's so important to know about the weight of a handbag, especially if you're carrying around for a full day and you already have like your belongings inside. You don't want it to be super heavy on your shoulder. And conveniently for Polene, you can actually find the weight of the handbag located in the description, which I find really handy. Some of the larger handbags can be a bit heavier, especially if you have it full of stuff, but like at least you can kind of gauge if it works for you by checking out the weight available on the website. Next, I want to talk about the durability. Polene usually use a chromium-based method in producing their leather, so it has a more resistant finish and is more scratch resistant. And that's a detail, like I mentioned, I really like, because some of the smoother leather, I just don't like it when a handbag looks super tattered and like marked up with use. It just doesn't look classy. So for durability, I think Polene has thought about the longevity of how it will look with regular wear. I still find the leather is a little bit thicker than what I would normally see for some of the luxury brands. Pricing. Now, I think for Polene, they don't usually have sales or promotions for their handbags. I mean, the prices for the handbags are not bad, I would say, for mid-range luxury, but pricing is all relative, right? I find it especially hard when there is like no store near me, so I don't get to see the handbag in person, so it's difficult to deal with if I had to deal with returns and such or defects. But the handbags do range quite a bit, and they have quite a selection available in their store. For the Polene handbags, I think the prices range quite a bit, starting around $380 or so, up to around I would say $600. Majority of it sits around, I would say around the 400 mark or so. The designs are very unique, and I think it's like a more accessible price point compared to other handbag brands. I think in January 2023, they had a slight price increase around 10 to 25% as well. Prices, I think, again, is quite affordable. It's all relative, right? If you compare to Gucci and Chanel or Louis Vuitton. But most of the luxury designer brands are much higher, well over $1,000. So I think that this is a good choice if you want to test out a mid-range luxury brand. But I don't think prices account for the full story for the brand. I mean, there are a lot of things that are not accounted for, like the designer's time, the process on developing the bag. It's not just the material and the workmanship by the artisan themselves, but also the sustainability projects that the company is dedicating time to ensure that there is upcycling of leather offcuts or using innovative sustainable material. Next, I want to talk about resale value. Because Polene is less, I would say, exclusive compared to some other handbag brands like Louis Vuitton or Chanel, I would say the resale value, of course, is not as high as some of these luxury brands. But then again, I don't think people are looking to Polene for resale. At least that's not the first thing I think most people think of. Accessibility. Now that's one of the cons related to this brand. I think that's really difficult to deal with returns, and there's only really limited number of stores you can purchase their handbags in Paris or New York. But outside of that, it's really difficult to get a hold of, so many people would choose to buy them online. But again, returns, defects, and issues, it's just a headache to deal with. So as I mentioned, through all of these different categories, you can see that not all that glitter is gold. Polene is not perfect by any means. I've gone over some pros and cons related to the handbag brand. So let's come to what is my final conclusion. I think at this point, Polene is still very new to the game. It has limited brand reputation and awareness, which can be something that is helpful for them or work against them. But I think like not all of the world know about Polene. Is not like as out there or as recognizable, let's say, as Louis Vuitton or Chanel. And I don't think they're working towards the same class as those luxury brands. But I think it's being slowly noticed in the handbag lovers world. It's really growing in reputation to be qualified as like a great luxury brand with like very innovative designs. I really love how Polene takes passion into their craftsmanship and their design and quality, and offers so fair pricing without like the middleman, which is why like they can offer these pricing given that they don't have many stores outside of their own, with the two in Paris and also New York. So at the end of the day, if you like a more minimalistic style, some unique color combination, and just the overall like simple aesthetic of Polene, of like this Parisian chic design from this brand, I think it's totally worth it. It's totally worth trying out. You just have to take a grain of salt in that, like, should you have any defects or you don't love the handbag, at the end it's gonna be a little bit difficult for dealing with returns and such. I mean, like if you buy them online, you're gonna find that you have to deal with like customs. It's just a little bit more of a nuisance, but some of that nuisance is accounted for with like the more quote unquote affordable pricing that they offer. And that's why it's more affordable given the beautiful designs and also the quality leather, because they don't have the middleman, because they don't have stores for you to see. So you have to be like really careful in double checking, like, is this the size I'm looking for? If you're able to check out some YouTube vlogs and get reviews whether these handbags are worth it. I think those are things that you just need to be aware of. But overall, given that like Polene is not super well known right now, I think they can still offer some of these handbags at more affordable prices. But I imagine with a few years to come, if they continue to come out with these really beautiful classic designs, I can really see the Polene pricing for the handbags go up. So maybe perhaps now is the time to buy before the brand awareness for the handbag brand Polene blows up. Well, that's it for today. I would love to hear from you. Do you love the Polene handbag brand? Do you think it's worth it? Especially for those of you who already have some of these handbags from Polene in your collection. How was your experience of it? Would you suggest going for it, or maybe a hard pass and looking into other mid-range luxury brands? I would love to know. Well, that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining me on another mommy review, and hopefully I will see you next time. Take care and stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.